You're listening to 91.1 The Avenue. My name is Ann, and this is The Avenue's Mile of Music coverage. Our Mile of Music coverage is made possible with support from Nicolet Bank and from U.S. Venture. Additional support comes from Dodd Home Safety. Dodd Home Safety performs home safety assessments, provides and installs the recommended equipment, and trains everyone on how to keep loved ones safe and independent in their own homes. More information at doddhomesafety.com. And I am in studio today with someone who was at the very first Mile of Music. He is performing at this year's Mile of Music as Tyler S.J. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So, Tyler, you're an Appleton resident. You're based here now.
Right.
Originally from
North Dakota, and I've been in Appleton, Northeast Wisconsin for about 10 years.
You were at the very first Mile of Music. You were performing.
I
there.
was.
Yeah.
It was a different world back then. I never probably would have guessed it's become what it has, but I'm sure happy to be back.
You played with a band called the Relics?
The Relics, right. We were a 4-piece kind of eclectic folk band, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's really fun to kind of see it from the different side now, where I was, young and everything in front of me, and now I kind of see what, it's just kind of happy to see what this festival's become, and really happy to be a part of it again.
Yeah, any memories from that first festival?
I just remember feeling like, it seemed like such a moonshot at the time.
Yeah.
It seemed like
right.
There's going to be this big announcement, everybody, come to, I think it was like the Outer Edge stage. We've got a big announcement. And I went to that as a music fan, and little by little kind of like ingratiated myself with Dave Willems and that team, and kind of keeping my foot in, like, hey, if you need somebody. And I think we played like 5 or 6 shows that weekend. And it was just like I said, there was never any indication, I don't think, that it was going to be such a cool thing. And so now to see, you talk to people really anywhere, and music people anywhere, and it's just kind of like, oh, Mile of Music, oh, Appleton. It's just something to be really proud of, and I really enjoy this weekend as a music fan. So playing in it is really, really satisfying.
So now you're back here playing. You're as a solo artist this time.
I'm playing as a solo artist. I'll be having one of my good friends, John Tabers-Kwok, playing with me, another guitar player, to kind of fill things out. Songs I've written mostly in the last couple of years, and I'm really excited to get them out there.
Kind of a cool full circle moment to have you playing the festival again.
Oh, yeah.
And so you haven't played any. You played one, and now here. Did you play any in between, in the middle places?
Yeah, like after the first one, we kind of got into like kind of a bar band niche. There were years where we were like, should we do it again? But we didn't really have the songs. And then we broke up, and I kind of, a couple years ago, I got sober. And that was kind of like the big catalyst for getting back into music and getting back into, like, this was the goal, to be totally honest with you, was playing this festival, because it was always kind of like a white whale to me, as for something that I kind of let get away from me. And so I mean, it's really, really exciting for that reason. And to have my kids going to be able to see me play and stuff like that. So I'm really very, very excited.
Well, we're glad to have you back.
Happy to be here.
I remember the early Mile of Music festivals, just even looking down College Avenue at all the people and thinking, it's so great to see College Avenue full of people and life. Yeah. And people who are clearly artists and musicians, and, carrying their gear and carrying their merch, and people being excited to see them. And you're right, to see what it's morphed into. And it must be very satisfying to be back.
And I think, it's become kind of a thing where I think for this town, we're proud of it. I think people didn't know what to think of it at first. Was it another Oktoberfest? That's kind of how it was like presented to, is like an Oktoberfest about art.
For those who may not be aware, Oktoberfest also happens on College Avenue in Appleton, but it is, I don't know, do they have 100,000 people
something like
come?
that? And it's all in one morning.
Yep. And it's very concentrated, and it is, it's a party more than it is a music.
Yeah, and there's music and good food
yeah.
and stuff. But I think, I give a lot of credit to the Mile of Music people, because I think there probably was a line in the sand, that, like I said, that first year was, I think, more like original music is kind of suggested. Please play originals. I don't think anyone was like signing paperwork saying it,
Yeah.
And so like I think they really, leaned into that original, this is a listening experience, like I remember playing the first one and we couldn't hear ourselves. It was so loud in those bars. It wasn't different. It wasn't any different than playing a regular bar on a Friday night. And so I think they've done a great job of like encouraging people to like give the musicians a chance because we're playing differently. It's a different experience for someone playing too. You don't get to play quiet rooms like that. So I think it's really cool, not just for music fans who, maybe don't get to hear these songs in a quiet setting like that, but for musicians, you just don't get that sort of captive audience. You really don't.
Yeah, it was a educational process as
definitely.
well, getting people to, really listen to the music instead of have the music be in the background to your party.
Yeah. I remember one of the first ones I was bartending and a girl came up to the bar and like grabbed a napkin and a pen and like wrote a little request to like bring to the musician. And he's like, it's not what this is, and now you wouldn't dream of putting in a request,
Yeah.
but like I said, it's evolved to something something really, really cool.
Well, thanks for that, little time capsule of reminding us that things always weren't like this, that it was an evolution.
Big time.
So you are doing your own music again, and you're going to be having some new music coming out. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I'm the plan is to put out 2 acoustic EPs in the next few months. One's about finished, going to be coming out this fall, and then another one after the first of the year with some Christmas music in between because I love my Christmas music.
Well, we look forward to all of it. Can we get something from you?
Sure.
Play for our listeners?
Yeah. I'm going to play a new one because I need the reps, quite frankly. This is a new one called New to You, New to Everyone, New to Me, called Didn't You Love Me a Little? Made it without you, now admit it, I wish I hadn't had to. I found myself out there despite you, and all life will hand you. I heard you'd been asking how I'm doing now, and laughed like we used to at how I've been knocked around. Well, I guess less is more. That's what old friends are for, to slide the rug over the trapdoor. If I saw you, I'd ask if you think of the past, just to tiptoe away while I crawl through the glass. You saw I was drowning, could I not be saved? When at last I went under the waves, it's a heartbreaking riddle. Didn't you love me a little? Did you love me a little? I made it without you, and I forgive you if that's what you wanted. Yeah, my soul's low from losing. What's a high road with nobody on it? And I bet when it's quiet and nobody's near, and the only one looking is the man in the mirror, that you know you did wrong. No, it took you too long. You knew I was just hanging on. If I saw you, I'd ask if you think of the past, just to tiptoe away while I crawl through the glass. You saw I was drowning, could I not be saved? When last I went under the waves, it's a heartbreaking riddle. Didn't you love me a little?
Did you love me a little? It's a shrug of the shoulders, 1,000-mile stare. If anyone should have been there, but you left me with nothing. I'd have met you in the middle, but didn't you love me a little? Did you love me a little? I made it without you, and I forgive you if that's what you wanted.